What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It is Phil Nagy on Sports joining you here for the official beginning of our Nagy on Sports college football playoff. And if, as I mentioned in our recap video or the heads up video about what the CFP looks like, it's a little bit different than the real life one. There are two games and teams that are wrong because I did not control every single outcome of the entire college football season. So both of these teams are in, but they're not going to be playing each other. But they both got in at least. So it is Arizona State and their outstanding running back, Cam Scatabo, coming in here to Happy Valley with an opportunity to play against Drew Aller in the Penn State Nittany Lions. Hey, Wendell, welcome in. Appreciate everybody being on. Let's get this one kicked off. Quick 15 minutes up on the clock. And there is the fake James Franklin on the side. Freshman quarterback Sam Levitt. He has been a big part of their success in addition to Scatabo, who's in the backfield there. You can see he is a superstar. They'll start in the pistol. They'll give it. Nope, the play action out of it. Here comes Abdul Carter. Levitt fires over the middle. Dropped it in behind him, but caught by his receiver. And a big first down to his right receiver, Jake Smith, the redshirt senior. Previously at Texas and USC before coming here to Arizona State. And a big first down on the first play of the game, the freshman quarterback Levitt, transferring from Michigan State. So he's a redshirt freshman. Redshirted last year. Here, Scatabo, he is the engine that drives their offense, and they are old school. They will just ground and pound you with Scatabo. Certainly that's what they did in that Big 12 championship. Here's a quick fire to the right side, up in the air and incomplete. He tried to knife that one into his receiver, Melqueen Stovall. Here's a 3rd and 4 now. Back to pass, Levitt. Levitt firing left side, almost picked off. Frankly, should have been picked off. And fortunate on his end that one is dropped by the defensive back, and they will have to settle for a field goal. And the kick is up, and the kick is no good. He pushed it right. So how about Penn State holding on their early drive? That's the kicker, Ian Hershey, and Hershey pushed that one right. And 0-0, and the Penn State fans, it actually hits off the upright there. I didn't see that one in real time. Hey, George, welcome in. Oh, there's a 5-star running back signing a letter of intent with Ohio State today, you're saying, Wendell? Did I miss something? I feel like I've been fairly dialed into the news circuit. Play action now. Drew Aller, junior quarterback, firing over the middle. Got a receiver and a first down. Big run after the catch there. And that is Harrison Wallace III, their number one target, and they'll go quickly. Of course, their number one target on offense is Tyler Warren, their very, very talented tight end, number 44. Now a little boot action. He'll dump it to Warren, right on schedule, and Warren will pick up a couple before Javon Robinson, the defensive back, brings him to the ground. Javon Robinson, a transfer from Washington State. Lots of transfers on this Arizona State roster. Big tackle there in the backfield as we see Singleton for the first time. He's going to be tackled by Xavier Alford, who also came from Texas and USC. So a couple guys went to Texas and the USC. They're setting up screen, and a massive sack on 3rd down. Leading the way is big Jeff Clark. Anytime you get those defensive tackles with single digits, you know they mean business. And Jeff Clark right there, able to just punish the poor play choice, because again, the screen sack is alive and well with this version of college football 25 for whatever reason. Didn't start that way, so something much have regressed back to the Madden mean during one of their updates. He signed a letter of intent with Ohio State today. Well, I'll have to go check that out. All right, here we go. 2nd and 6 now coming in. And Levitt will just throw it out of bounds. And a quick jump to the right side. First down, more on the 3rd down catch and run. Nice little swing pass to a backup running back. That's to Carlos Brooks. Transfer from Cal, and he's got a first down. Play action. Right side throw and swatted away. Good defense there. That's A.J. Harris, the young corner from transferring from Georgia. Oh, Anthony Rogers. Yes. We flipped him from from Alabama, right? He was committed to Alabama. Yeah, I think his nickname is Turbo. Turbo Rogers, what they call him. Over the middle and intercepted. He threw that one. That was essentially an arm punt, and it is going to be picked off by the Nittany Lions. And Davian Collins, a redshirt sophomore cornerback. Collins goes up for it and makes a big-time interception. There he is, Davian Collins, the sophomore. And I'm not sure what Levitt's doing here. This is just kind of an arm punt. On the run, he chucks it deep. And essentially, a turnover and a little bit of a flip of the field. That's it, and here comes Penn State now. Little RPO left side. Getting it in some space. Spin move. Now the ball pops out. Watch out, and it's picked up by Arizona State. Right back. They give it to him. Caden Saunders. The redshirt sophomore played at Westerville South, by the way, just up the road from my house here in Columbus. And Saunders fumbles the football. And Jordan Crook, the middle linebacker, falls on it. So back and forth. There's Saunders. That's plenty of football moves, and that ball comes out well before his knee is down. And two back-to-back turnovers. A wild first 5 minutes of this one. Now Scatabo. No, excuse me, not Scatabo. That's Brooks again, the backup running back. I hope they don't have Scatabo as not the all-time running back. That would be sad for them. I'm sure this Carlos Brooks character is fine, but Scatabo is insanely good. Now Levitt will throw it out of bounds. Live to throw it out. He's got an interesting throwing motion. Obviously, I'm not going to pretend to have watched a ton of Arizona State football to let you know if that's how his actual throwing motion is or not, but it's a little wonky. He'll complete this one over the middle and gets it to his tight end. And that's Markiston Douglas. Excuse me, gosh. Couldn't figure out which one was his first name, which one was his last name. I had to look at other ones. Brooks with his third carry. Having a decent game, but again, they are paced by Scatabo. A little surprised he's not in there. Quick little RPO left side, and they got the first down. Very quick completion to Tyson, the receiver. Jordan Tyson, a transfer from Colorado. And now here comes to Carlos Brooks, and we're going to get a late flag. Could it be holding? It will be. Back him up. A holding call there on Brandon Lloyd. 6'10", a 370-pounder. Although they're going to say that one's Lafferty, so it must be the wrong number or the wrong name. We know that happens still as well. Play action. Gets Dennis Sutton to get out of the way. The pass rusher opposite of Abdul Carter is Dennis Sutton. And now a 2nd and 9 for the freshman quarterback, Sam Levitt. Here comes Scatabo. Nope, they'll use him as a decoy, and Levitt will run option, and we'll get a late flag. We're going to get holding on a receiver there as Jalen Reed, the safety, comes up. Excuse me, to make the tackle. There is Jake Smith. Guilty of the hold. And there you go. Scatabo into the backfield now. And they won't give it to him. Left side throw. Levitt caught. Nope, dropped it. Good coverage there by the defense, and Cam Miller. 3rd and 15 now for Levitt and the Sun Devils of Arizona State. This is the 12-5 matchup of our touchdown, our initial Nagy Sports college football playoffs, and he throws it on a dime to Xavier Guillory, transfer from Idaho State. Guillory has the first points of the Nagy Sports college football playoffs. Congratulations to him. As I mentioned earlier in the intro, if you're just joining us late, is this a beautiful throw from Levitt? He got past everybody to Guillory, and an easy touchdown. Hershey in to add the extra point. But without the ability to control every single outcome of every single game for all 134 Division I teams, it was next to impossible to get the actual matchups. So we got it close. 10 of the 12 teams are correct. The additions to ours are Alabama instead of SMU and Miami instead of Clemson as the ACC champion, despite trying to force it the other way. So that's where we're at. A couple of matchups. The Notre Dame-Indiana matchup is the same. Ohio State's going to be playing Alabama. And then this one is happening. And then Tennessee plays Texas in the next game that we'll see. But I'm going to try to get them all done before next weekend when they happen for real. 3rd and 9 coming up here now. And here's Drew Allard. Allard over the middle. Little skinny post, first down throw and catch. And that's complete to Julian Fleming, former Buckeye, former 5-star kid who came out of the state of Pennsylvania to Ohio State and just could never really get healthy. And this time Nicholas Singleton is going to get just destroyed in the backfield. Going to lose a yard when all is said and done. They'll go spread him out 5 wide. Back to pass. Clifford, he'll dump it quickly out of the backfield to the running back Singleton, who sets up a 3rd and manageable. Yeah, Wendell, I saw that in the Monday night game. That Cade York is kicking for the Bengals right now. So I don't know if McPherson got hurt or what happened, but he made his 2 field goals and his 3 extra points, and they won the game by 7. So enough points that he helped. Just more insult to injury for the Browns season since Hopkins can't kick right now. A little play-action play takes way too long to develop, and that's the 2nd tight end anyway. Got to throw that thing to Warren. Now Singleton on a 2nd and long. He'll go left. He'll get near the first down. He'll get the first down inside the 30-yard line. Nicholas Singleton with a big-time run. And Singleton's got them just on the inside of the 30-yard line. Now Aller out of a pistol. Double tight ends in. They'll go Singleton again. Singleton piercing the middle for 3. They'll be brought down by Miles Rouser, nicknamed Ghost. Ghost Rouser. Now Aller back to pass. Pressure coming. He'll be sacked. Ball pops out late, but he was down. That was some late pressure from the defensive lineman, Roman Petrie. He's a transfer from Purdue. And Petrie in there for a sack to set up a 3rd and 13. Let's look at Petrie. Again, a lot of transfers on this Arizona State roster. That's how you do it. If you're a new coach, you bring in a bunch of new guys. And in the case of like Indiana, at Arizona State, you have some pretty quick, as here's another catch by Fleming inside the 5. 1st and goal, Penn State. And then like the coach at Indiana, you're going to have some pretty quick success, but then it'll be how well as a recruit can they maintain that success, or are you going to be bringing in 30-plus transfers every year? Touchdown to the right side. Julian Fleming again. This was his drive. And Fleming with a couple of nice catches, including this one for a touchdown, and we are a kick away from a tie football game. What is Sandy Saharic is the kicker. His kick is up and it's good. 7-7. Appreciate everybody being on. Phil Nagy on Sports is the channel. This is our official college football playoff sim. Again, it is not 100% accurate because I could not force win the outcome of every single college football game in our regular season sim. I made sure that some of the teams are right, like the Buckeyes, Oregon specifically. But I had to force win some games. But I missed the mark on Clemson being good and SMU being good. They were too bad for me to even salvage late, unfortunately. 2nd and 2 now. Play action to Scadabo. I'm just surprised. Now they'll dump it to him to say he has been their best player in real life. And man, do they run that kid. He kind of reminds me of a young Peyton Hillis. A little faster, not quite as stocky. Excuse me, shouldn't be yawning into the microphone, making you all yawn. End of 1. Wild first quarter here. 7-7 is the net result in the college football playoff. Round 1. This is the 12 versus 5 as it went in our regular season sim. Hey, Earl, welcome in. Go Browns. Here's Scadabo. Nowhere to go. Kobe King, the middle linebacker, gets in there to pop him. Number 41 for the blue and white. Blue and white Lions fight up the middle. And tackled immediately there by your defensive back there. Lots of tight ends in the game. Scadabo out of a wildcat. He'll keep it. It'll be blown up in the backfield. Kobe King was having none of it. They ran a little wildcat with Scadabo and he's going to lose yardage, and they'll punt this one away way high in the air, and a terrible punt. To be fair, caught by one of the gunners that time. That was not good. Cam Miller able to grab that one. Now Singleton will try the right side and nowhere to go. He'll lose a yard, in fact. Good pursuit there. That's Xavier Alford, another Texas USC Arizona State transfer. Now the setting up screen and a second screen sack coming. The third of the day. Zach Swanson, transfer from Texas, able to get home. Here he is, and able to sack Drew Aller very quickly. It certainly has been, Earl. I think that's kind of the point, right? Pressure coming, and he'll be sacked again. 4th and 28 coming up. A big-time rush by Jamon Tapp, another transfer from Texas. And Tapp gets home with a sack, and they will have to punt. There's Jamon Tapp. And the Nittany Lions will have to punch this one away as he made short work of that Penn State right tackle. Yeah, I would say that's kind of the point, right? Because, you know, it's not just 4 teams anymore at the end. It's, you know, all these teams had opportunities, and up until the last week or so of the season, you probably had 20 to 24 teams that think that they belonged. So, yes, I think it's long-term very good for the sport. There's some things that I would tweak about the playoff for sure, and I'm assuming it'll go to 6 games, or 16 teams, and it'll get rid of the bye at some point, but like you can see the conference champions not getting automatic buys very quickly because some of the worst teams have automatic buys right now, which is why some of these early matchups, Ohio State, Tennessee, Ohio State, Texas, second round, like Ohio State, Oregon, like some of these things are going to be pretty epically colossal battles early. Levitt takes off 45-50, 45 on the other side, knocked down at the 41-yard line. Freshman quarterback Sam Levitt. There's a quick little throw left side and complete from Levitt to Tyson. Oh, there we go. Answer my question. Before you even asked it, yes, I think they've got to seed it just based on their rankings. So, like, the number 1 should be number 1, number 2 should be number 2. And if that's 3 of the 4 teams from the same conference, so be it. You got in, you can guarantee the conference champions to get in, but you don't have to guarantee them being one of the top 4 seeds. Pressure and hit down. Like, Oregon would still be the top seed if they didn't win. I mean, they did win the Big Ten, but you know what I mean? Like, their ranking would have had them in the same spot anyway. That's where it breaks down for the other teams that won their divisions, like Clemson and Arizona State and those kinds of things. I think it will be, Wendell. I think one more year and it'll get to 16. Even 12, there's some pretty interesting debates. Obviously, the big one this year was SMU or Alabama. But I think there are some legitimate debates about, you know, maybe having, you know, not both of them in, but if you get 13, 14, 15, 16 in there, you're going to get those teams in as well. Hey, Mike, welcome in. They don't look unbeatable, but they have looked the best. Again, we'll see. We hopefully get a good Ohio State-Oregon rematch here in a couple of weeks. Aller's going to be pressured and throw it away. Both teams struggling in this one. 7-7 here, still halfway through the second quarter. Weaving our way down to the end of the half. And Singleton's going to go nowhere. I'm right there with you, Mike. I'm right there with you. The SEC homerism, and again, it's picked off by Aller again. Drew Aller, and it's picked off. Xavier Alford again. And it is an interception, and they're going the other way with a short field, are the Sun Devils. Oh, my, look at this throw. It's kind of lazy, and then the safety, Alford, sneaks up there, and he just beats Fleming to the spot. Yeah, and again, I think a lot of it is because the talking heads that are driving the narrative work for a certain network that rhymes with ESPN. And as I have always said, it's the ESPN-C. The SEC and the ESPN are so locked at the hip that they stomped the table for the SEC teams. But yeah, I mean, same thing for me. Bottom line is they lost 3 times, including the last one to a bad Oklahoma team. That was not a good game. They got destroyed by a bad team. Scatterbo with a nice run. And I think they will, Mike. I honestly think that they will. It's been rumored for a little while, and I think we're probably even closer to it than many people realize. To basically, I would guess the Big Ten and the SEC basically go to like 24 teams each, and you have you have just like 2 super conferences, and then they just kind of make up their own rules and do their own playoff, and then you're going to see people lining up to join them real fast, Notre Dame included. Absolutely, Earl. Absolutely. There are no truly elite teams. Everybody's got flaws. They're down to 85 contracts, 85 scholarships, and it's here's where we're going to see the Wildcat with Scatterbo again until the offensive line moved early. But you're going to see those schools flock to those 2 power conferences because they're going to kind of get to make up their own rules, and they're probably going to end up essentially having like a salary cap and probably some contracts, and who knows how deep the rabbit hole is going to go. But you're right that it has been very interesting. And Scatterbo fights his way into the end zone. That's the hard-nosed running that we have come to expect from Cam Scatterbo, and he has been exceptionally good. If you've watched any Arizona State football, he and Ashton Jeanty, to me, have been the 2 most impressive running backs in college football this year. Again, he kind of reminds me of Peyton Hillis, and it's not just because of the color of his skin. His running style is that capacity as well. Yeah, I mean, Big Ten makes the most sense just geographically. I'm a little surprised they did that kind of weird partial ACC thing where they play some ACC teams. And they're in the Big East for basketball. Like, they've been in the Big East for years for basketball, but at some point, the money will be too much from the conference contracts that even NBC or whatever with their exclusive Notre Dame deal, it won't be able to hang, and they'll have to join. And that's what I'm saying, Wendell. At some point, the Big Ten money will be bigger than NBC can offer just Notre Dame as a single entity. 3rd and 9 now. Aller, he's had a tough game. He needs to get going. He's going to chuck it right side, right on the sticks, and incomplete. They're going to punt again. He's looking for Liam Clifford, younger brother of Sean Clifford, former Nittany Lion quarterback. He did, Mike. He did for sure look really good. I was able to watch some of that game. It was my first time really watching Arizona State, admittedly living in Central Ohio. I don't see a lot of Arizona State football, but the young quarterback looked good to me, Levitt, and Scatterbo's the truth for sure. Here he is to the right side. He'll be spun down by Kobe King. 10 carries now, 37 yards, and a touchdown for Scatterbo. I would take Jeanty too. Both of them are going to have both of them have been beat up, and both of them have had a bunch of carries. I would probably be okay with not taking either of them, because my guess, I don't know if you're going to have to get him in the first round, but at least first or second for Jeanty. I would rather take more important positions, because you can get a decent running back in the middle rounds. You know, look at like an Isaiah Pacheco. He was a 7th rounder, and some different things like that. For every Saquon Barkley there is, you know, I mean, Nick Chubb for heck reasons was a 2nd rounder. So I'm not sure that running back would be the position that I would take in the first round, because we're going to have a lot of holes on that Browns roster. I mean, he could be, Earl. I would take him in the 2nd. I'm not willing to take that. Now, there's a possibility maybe they trade that out of the first round anyway to continue to accumulate picks for a future quarterback. I really do not want them to take a quarterback first round. I would much rather take a Dylan Gabriel or a Will Howard or something mid-rounds and see if you can catch some lightning in a bottle there. Left side throw. Got him in. Finally, first down conversion. A big gainer. And boy, did they need it. Harrison Wallace III streaking down the left sideline and inside the 25 with under a minute and 10 seconds to play. And he picked off again. Oh my, Aller right over the middle, and it's Ghost Roser again. from Detroit, Michigan goes Roser, but coming from Campbell in New Mexico State. Maybe, there's a lot of smoke about him going to the Raiders, or that Dion would love to see him be in Vegas. I'm frankly happy that we won that for obvious reasons, that Steelers game, but another win or two and we're going to kind of firmly be in the middle, and now Abdul Carter gets a sack. We're going to firmly be in the middle, and hopefully that's enough to keep us away from any of those quarterbacks. That's the thing about this year's quarterback draft. Even like Cam Ward and Shadur Sanders, Carson, like these guys who are supposed to be the top quarterbacks in this draft would have been like lower rated than like Bo Nix and J.J. McCarthy last year. Like it would have been like quarterback 6, 7, and 8. So in classic Browns fashion, they're going to get a high draft pick and not really have elite quarterbacks to choose from. They're going to have to do something because they're going to be paying Deshaun Watson $46 million a year to sit on the bench, essentially. Scadaba, right side, breaks a tackle, crosses the 20-yard line. Somebody calls timeout. It snapped away too fast. I couldn't tell you who. It was Penn State, in fact. Now 3rd and 12. They're going to try to get the football back. Jackson, you mean Bo Jackson? Or Lamar Jackson? Oh, Lamar Jackson, yeah. He was. He has been a unicorn. Many people didn't think he would turn into an elite NFL passer, and to his credit, he has done exceptionally well at that. Oh, okay, Mike, that's cool. Yeah, we'll do some crew sims because that's my team as well. I don't know how much of an audience there'll be for it in the off season, but when football season is not happening, we could get some football season as Prince Dorba is going to sack Drew Aller, and that's going to be halftime. So, man alive, a tough half of football for the Nittany Lions. Again, this is at Penn State at night. Negative 31 yards rushing, and that's mostly due to those sacks. That's how they categorize it in the college game. But Jiminy Christmas, tough half of football. Let's see if we can get something going in the second. So, Earl, here's my thing. We did, yeah. It was great. And frankly, I thought they had a really good chance to do it this year. That first round exit in the playoffs was just brutal. Brutally bad timing to get kind of thin on the back end and let in some goals they didn't have any business letting in. Here's my thing, Earl. DTR is the only quarterback on the roster that you can afford to play next year, assuming that you're not going to run the Watson experiment back. Here's a completion, finally to the right side. Saunders down to the 40-yard line into Arizona State territory. So he's the only one that you can realistically afford because Winston's worked himself into a contract bigger than we're going to be able to pay. You're going to go try to get Kirk Cousins or Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones or something like that. Like those guys, you're going to have to find another sort of journeyman backup and give him a prove-it deal. Or you could roll with a rookie. Again, I wouldn't, especially not a first-rounder. You want to draft Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round and just let him go and see how it works. Like, for me, I would like to see DTR with a real game plan, and I would like to see DTR with all of the reps and like, okay, here's the last 4 weeks. You get to have them come hell or high water. Just not looking over his shoulder and let him play. You got to see if you have anything with him. You got to do it. So that's my thought on him. Now they've decided to continue to roll with Winston, and he probably does give them a better chance of winning. Katron Allen will try the left for a nice game. But Winston is not going to be your future, I don't think. A little heavy backfield there, and another sack. Holy smokes. This Arizona State defense has been aggressive at the line, and that's a sack for Cole Martin, the safety, as he got in there in a hurry. Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. Mike, that would be great. Well, yes, for sure, except for Cincinnati. Yeah, Wendell, their soccer teams will sometimes not have like a mascot name. Like we're the Columbus Crew, but they're just FC Cincinnati. So the name of their team is just football team or football club Cincinnati, or like Sporting Kansas City is just the name of their team. There's a couple like SC soccer clubs as well. And yes, the Cincinnati soccer team and the Columbus soccer team are big rivals. And they play close matches every year. And yes, absolutely we should call them FC Kentucky, because Cincinnati is in Kentucky, not part of Ohio. Which is not entirely true, but it's fun to tease them about. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So a few points coming that time. But it has been a struggle for this Penn State offense, now trailing 14-10. Right as we jump into half number 2 here. Phil Nagy on Sports is the channel, only place on YouTube that you're going to find these simulated sporting events with live original commentary. On Nagy on Sports, we ran through the entire Ohio State season. Did finish 10-2. I had to force win them to lose in the Big Ten Championship because we beat Michigan in the sim, and then obviously didn't in real life. But had a great recruiting class, got 9 5-stars, which is way more than any other team, so I'm very excited about the future. We will roll this sim into the future, and I will name those guys after the real recruits and stuff like that. But we'll get to that after this is all over. It's college football playoff time. These are the rankings that our sim season netted. So Penn State finishing 11-1. Didn't even get a chance to play in the Big Ten Championship because it was Ohio State. But they're going to still be the 5th seed here, which works out pretty well for them. But right now they trail. And again, this is winner go home. This is the first round, and then you're into the winner gets, I think, Oregon. I don't remember who the winner of this one gets. Scatabo again. Nowhere to go. I'm a Sporting. That's perfect. Right side throw, and it's almost caught there. Could not quite hang on. That's Melquain Stovall again. Absolutely, Earl. Again, if anything else, Jameis makes the games entertaining. I mean, he is so... It's unbelievably how consistently himself he is. Like, that is who he is. He is a 30-30 guy. So he's going to throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. Actually, it was 500 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Broncos. And then he also threw 3 interceptions, 2 of which were pick sixes. So, like, he is so unabashedly himself. It's really remarkable. But the games are going to be super entertaining. You just got to know that you're going to get great quarterback play at times and really awful quarterback play at times. And, like, he can't control it. I know the memes that are going around because in the press conference he asked God, he said, I'm praying to Jesus to deliver me from these pick sixes. And the longtime youth pastor in me is like, I'm pretty sure that's not the way that God works, but you can go ahead and keep praying that prayer if you'd like to, Jameis. But it's just so crazy that he's been so consistently him. And now another sack. 9 sacks today. Drew Aller has been beat up, and a couple of them have been screen sacks. I do feel bad for any Penn State fans we may have on the channel right now for having to see this. This is a glitch in the game, and I hope that they clean it up. It didn't start this way, but after a couple of game updates, it came back. So if your team runs a lot of screens, you are in trouble. If you're the team that I happen to start the game with, of course, which is how that works. Okay, so if anything, you'll get to just see Taylor Swift. I was going to say, that's the most important, that's the biggest reason that people are going to go to the game on Sunday, is to try to get a glimpse of T Swizzle. Right side throw, or handoff to Scatabo. He's got another first down. And at this point, Arizona State can just run the clock. I mean, Drew Aller and the Penn State offense cannot do anything, and now Scatabo's getting 6-7 yards a carry. This is going to end very poorly for the Nittany Lions, and if James Franklin, if he were to lose a game like this, I don't know what would happen. Neutral zone infraction. Again, Earl, if you're okay with the full Jameis experience, which we have now seen it plenty, And if you think that you can get your team to a playoff series with that guy as your quarterback, I think they might try to bring him back, but he's going to be like, cool, well, now I need starter money, so I need at least $25 million a year, and we don't have that to give him because we're paying 46 of it to a guy who stinks, and we're guaranteed him for 5 years, and we got to pay him for 2 more. And even if they try to cut him, it's going to be like an $85 to $90 million cap penalty. Which hence brings us back to the DTR conversation. I just don't know. It's not a matter of I don't necessarily want Winston. And maybe they can spend the offseason working in the lab and dialing up more plays where it's just read it there. And if it's not there, throw it away. So you're not trying to always squeeze it in. You know, that's just so hard to train that gunslinger mentality out of people. Sun Devils are going to settle for a field goal here. I mean, I don't know, Earl. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks. And again, we just talked about the fact that it's not a great draft for them. Now, if he's willing to come back for another prove-it deal, a really heavy-laden, incentive-based deal, maybe you find a way to make that work, or maybe say, hey, your salary is going to be this, but we're going to pay you a $30 million signing bonus because Haslam is willing to dole out cash for that stuff. You're going to have a $2 million salary, but a $30 million signing bonus. So you're going to get $32 million bucks. I just don't know. I just don't think you can even go. I just don't even think you leave the door open for Watson. I think you have to say, sorry, it didn't work out. No hard feelings. We're going to keep paying you, but you're going to stay home. Or you're going to be the third string quarterback. Like, you cannot run that thing back with him as the starter. I'm sorry, but you cannot. You just cannot. I just don't know, Earl. I don't know how you can do that. How you can look every other guy in that locker room and in that fan base and just say, because of how much we're paying him, we have to start him. You've seen what he is now, and he's not what he was before. For whatever the reasons, he's just not that. I just don't think it can be possible. Ooh, nice run by Singleton to the right side. He'll get a couple, but it's still 3rd and 13. Penn State's starting to get in trouble here as we trickle down to 44 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Setting up screen again. No, don't do it, Drew. Another sack. The 11th sack for the Arizona State Sun Devils. Again, I think probably 4 of them are screen sacks, but not all 11 of them. So credit the Arizona State defensive line and pass rush, and Penn State's offensive line has been putrid. I'm telling you, I have seen enough of Deshaun Watson and you cannot, I don't think you can run that back. So whether it's DTR or Winston or a new rookie or a new free agent, to me, the experiment is over. Yeah, 11 sacks, Mike, is crazy amount of sacks. Again, and about 4 of them, I think, are due to the glitch, which is basically any time the team runs a screen pass, they're going to get sacked because the quarterback won't get rid of it in time. That's a Madden glitch that somehow has made its way over. Right, which is why I say, because the other guys on the team know, they're like, this dude sucks. What are we doing? Like, you just got to pay him to stay home. I'm sorry. Or you just cut him and eat the money. But that's where we're at. 3rd and 5, and they can't quite get it. Guillory gets 4, but needs 5. They'll punt. Under 14 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's 14-10, Arizona State. Hey, Carter, welcome in. Big tackle into the backfield. And the return there. And here come the Nittany Lions. Full house backfield with Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton in the backfield. They have 2 very, very talented running backs. You can see both superstars. Singleton breaks a tackle and then goes to the ground. Miles Ghost Rouser with the tackle. For sure, Mike. It's it's not that the Haslams don't mind losing the money, but it's still going to count against the salary cap. They call it dead cap money. So it's going to be essentially $85 million that we cannot use to pay other players. But I don't think that you can come back and run it back with him. I just can't. I'm hanging in there, doing okay. Yes, if it was just a matter of whether or not the Haslams were willing to be like, we tried. We'll flush that $90 million down the toilet. No big deal. That's a different story. But then you got to be like, okay, but then you got to not pay $90 million worth of guys in 25 and 26, or one of those years. I'm not sure how the cap penalties work. If you're on Twitter, look up Jack Duffin. He's the man for all that stuff. We just posted one today, actually, about what would it look like if they totally decided to blow it up, trade Newsom, trade Ward, trade Njoku, trade Garrett, what it would look like. First and 10. Levitt with a 4-point lead, 11 minutes. He'll fire deep right side. Dropped it. Guillory at the 1. I don't know why they just don't keep handing off. Penn State can't do anything on offense right now. Throw it over the middle. Dropped again. Clock stops once more. 3rd and 10 for Sam Levitt. Almost picked off. Incomplete is the result. Man, that thing was almost picked off by Jalen Reed. Here comes Hershey. He's missed 2 already. This one's from 52. And he drilled it. Hershey drills it. So 17-10 now. We've got a touchdown lead, and Penn State has struggled on offense. Well, I'll say this. If they play like they played all year, they're going to win. If he gets into that weird ego where I have to prove to the world that I'm tough, so therefore I must run, like he does against Michigan, then they can absolutely lose it. But if he lets his playmakers do what they do best, and you're not throwing that ball 10 to 15 times a game to Jeremiah Smith, then he deserves to be fired. 13 sacks. Unbelievable. They have run so many screens. They got to figure it out. Stop running screens. Oh, you're going to the game, Carter. Great. Enjoy it. I hope it's... Make sure you wear your... get some of those hand warmer things and wear your long underwear. It's going to be chilly there at the shoe. It'll be fun to see. I'm going to be on vacation, so I'm looking forward to watching it from sunny and hopefully warm California. Prince Dorba with another sack, as again, they are just a beauty. And that one wasn't a screen sack. That's just a failure on the part of the Penn State offensive line, and they have another 4th and 25. And you're giving the ball back to one of the best running backs in the league with 9:14 to go. Absolutely, Mike. Worst play calling I've ever seen, too. And that's why everybody's so upset with Chip Kelly, and I'm like, no. Because we're going to get the sack, and then Scatabo falls on it, but a huge loss, 2nd and 32. That was not Chip Kelly. That game plan was 100% Ryan Day telling Chip, I'm the head coach, this is what I want to do. But they still got to show up, they still got to play. But yeah, I air it out. Jeremiah Smith's got to have 10 to 15 targets minimum per game through the playoffs. You got to pass to set up the run. Your offensive line was decent all season. 2 guys got hurt that are going to be NFL draft picks. Then you shifted your NFL draft pick left guard to play left tackle. See, their screen passes work, by the way, because they're not the team that I started the game from. Do not understand how that glitch works. But let's go ahead and just run it right into the 2 best defensive tackles on there, all of the Big Ten, over and over and over and over again. Great idea to prove to Jim Harbaugh that I'm tough. Yep, Jim Harbaugh broke Ryan Day. 100% sure of it. It's like he doesn't even coach for Michigan anymore, and he's living rent-free in your head. So as long as he gets over himself from that angle, I think we'll be fine. I think we still are, if not the most talented, one of the 2 or 3 most talented rosters in the league. So yeah, we stay healthy and we you know, get a little puck luck here and there, as they say. We have murderer's row to get there. Holy smokes. Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, just to get to a chance to play Georgia or whatever is going to be crazy. Of course, Georgia now going to have to go with the backup quarterback, which is crazy to me too. Not sure how long Carson Beck's supposed to be out, but he's not going to play this week. Or next week, I think. 4th and 9 coming up. Once again, even off of the turnover. Penn State just struggle bussing it today on offense. 5.5 to play in the game. Arizona State going to try to run this thing out. Yes, and then Penn State, yes. And then the opposite of Ohio State's murderer's row is Penn State, who gets the cakewalk, as you say. And now they got to take care of business, but they will cakewalk themselves. I'm actually really interested to see that Indiana-Notre Dame game, and that's the one game that actually is real in our sim playoffs, so we'll get to see that one in a couple of days. Quick throw over the middle, first down, under 5 to go now. And it is getting pretty nervy here in Happy Valley, a not so Happy Valley. Well, those people are wrong, Mike, because I thought it was clearly evident that had Ryan Day's fingerprints all over it, and that he was very much pushing the buttons. That's a good question, Wendell. Maybe we'll do another one. I think I should have time. I'll have to check and see what Mrs. Nagy on Sports' schedule is. Do the Cavs play today? We could do a Cavs sim. Cavs do not play today. Oh, this is for the NBA Cup. So no Cavs. Maybe. I could potentially do it. I think the next one for us is Texas and Tennessee, which would be a fun game. At least get a chance to scout Tennessee for us. So we'll see. I'll have to triple check here, make sure I know what's going on. I don't mess anything up, but we could very much consider it. Here's Scatabo on a screen on a 3rd and 13. He's going to get out of bounds. Almost got it. It stops the clock, but they're in field goal range, and this changes the score line in a big way. Oh, they're going to fake a field goal. Oh, a terrible choice and a turnover on downs. And Penn State may have a shot with 2 minutes and 9 seconds. They need a touchdown as Arizona State tries to run a fake field goal, and it's blown up. Elliott Washington, that's going to count as a sack. What a ridiculous play call there, as that's Jeff Sims, backup quarterback from Nebraska, Georgia Tech transfer. Excuse me, a Nebraska and Georgia Tech transfer. He came from both. I don't understand it either. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. I don't mean to be the president, but I am would happy to be commentator of the year. I told you I did send the channel to I tried to get to hold with some of the Browns PR staff when they were going to make the change away from Jim Donovan before they hired Siciliano. I was trying to throw my name in the hat. 2-minute warning time here. Yeah, whatever's left of the NCAA. Maybe. Right side throw, dropped, and now it's 1st and 10 the other way. And Penn State has 3 timeouts, but this one is looking like it's over. Scatabo, right side, breaking tackles. This kid gets stronger as the game goes on. Timeout number 1 called. Very well could be. I appreciate that, Mike. You said you're not even a big Browns fan. That's totally fine. Appreciate you being on. Lots of the rest of us are, which is why we've had such heated Deshaun Watson conversation a lot of the time. But that's also the reason that some of the views on the channel are down, because the Browns have been so bad. I'm like, come on, Browns. Killing me here. You're killing me. 144. Levitt over the top, and this one's going to be the backbreaker. Smith into the end zone. He beat everybody. He said, Penn State, it's night time. And this one is now officially done. Arizona State headed on to the second round with a monster game. They paced it with their defense, scored just enough when they needed it. And holy smokes, that is a big-time big-time choke here at home for Penn State. Talking about a team coming from Arizona to play in Pennsylvania in December. They're going to blow this. Oh, you can do that if you want, Mike. That'd be fun. Some of the streams were fairly entertaining. Some of them were very sad, especially because we would have to go back then. We always match up the real result, so we would have to force win the result to be different, like a win turning into a loss or vice versa. Left side throw, and they're going to dump it to Singleton, the running back. It's okay, Carter. You were in class. It's all right. Especially if you're in English class. Don't get yourself in trouble with the misses. Oh, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. We're family friendly. We're appropriate for 12-year-olds. I try to be, at least. Over the middle. Finally, a big catch. But again, way too little and way too late here for Penn State as they hustle up to the line. 1 minute, 59, 58. Why are you checking with the sideline for the play? Now Aller. And a lot of soul searching going to be happening in Happy Valley. Does Drew Aller stay? Does he transfer somewhere else? Does he go pro? Finishing his junior season as a quarterback, any of those things are options. Or coming back, Penn State. They're probably going to have to do a big old NIL deal for him. Second and goal now, and they're going to call somebody. What happened there? Somebody moved, perhaps. Second and goal from the 3. Aller. I think he's aiming for the first row of the stands. Terrible throw for Drew Aller. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the crew games are fun. The stadium is beautiful. Oh, picked in the end zone. Drew Aller, shades of Jameis Winston in this one. And now continued waving at the Penn State fans as this one will mercifully come to an end with a kneel down. That's Kavion Thunderbird. What a name for Kavion Thunderbird. Redshirt freshman from the Chicago area. Sweet name. Ball game is over. Here's the kneel down. 24-10. So our first CFP matchup comes. And our first CFP matchup goes. And Arizona State comes to. Yeah, 14 sacks is crazy. There's Scatavo right on cue. Touchdown, 111 yards. Hard-earned yards for Cam Scatavo. But this one was about the defense and about Drew Aller just really playing horribly. He was 21 of 37 for 275, 1 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in this one. 17 for 59. Look at that. He had quote unquote 15 carries for negative 143 yards. Unbelievable. Whoops. Too fast. Saunders 6 for 64. Fleming 5 for 83 in the touchdown. Harrison Wallace 4 for 94, including that 30-yarder. 3 for 8 for Jerry Cross, Singleton with the 2, and just Tyler Warren with 1 catch. He's your best offensive weapon. You have 1 catch for 4 yards. That's gross. Tackles today, 16 for Jalen Reed. There's the key Wheatley. Winston, so your 3 safeties leading the way, and that 3 safety look. 2 sacks for Carter, 1 for Dennis Sutton, half for Washington, and Wheatley 1 pick by Davian Collins, as we saw in that one. For the Arizona State. Here we go. There we go. Sam Levitt, 26 of 39, 272, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception for the redshirt freshman. Scatabo, 28 for a $111. And that was it there. Guillory, 5 for 49, and a touchdown. 5 for 30 for Marquiston Douglas. There's Jordan Tyson. 4 for 88 for Jake Smith, including a touchdown. 3 for Stovall, Brooks, Scatabo, and Mateer, another tight end. On the defensive side of the ball, leading tackler was Ghost Rouser. 13 for Shamari Simmons. He's their best defender by rating, by the way, at an 85 overall. Kamari Wilson also with double-digit tackles in this one. Here we go. 3.5 for Dorba. 3 for Richardson, 3 for Swanson, 1.5 for Tapp, 1.5 for Clayton Smith, 1 for Martin, 1 for Petrie, 1 for Rouser, and 0.5 for Jeff Clark. The picks today were by Thunderbird, Rouser, and Xavier Alford. All right. Well, okay, this one was a fun one. Again, next up in the Nagy on Sports CFP, I believe, is going to be Tennessee, Texas. We can look at it here real quick. So I had to take over control of the Penn State team to get to that spot. There we go. So the winner of them, so Arizona State's going to play Boise State in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. So next up in our sim would be Texas and Tennessee. And yes, per your suggestion, could come up here in just a couple of minutes. And yes, Carter, I think they can, but I don't know if they will. And there you can see the rest of our bracket. Alabama, Ohio State winner gets Miami. And then Notre Dame, Indiana winner gets Georgia in that one. All right, guys, this one was a lot of fun. Big win for the Arizona State Sun Devils, dispatching of the Penn State Nittany Lions again. I might have another one coming up for you. If not, it'll be tomorrow or Friday. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your day, night, whenever you're watching this. Really appreciate it. Thanks again to all of our subscribers as well. Today we will say, go Sun Devils, go Buckeyes, and as always, go Browns.